live in the place to be with TSP.
Okay.
And what I want you to do.
And can I say I am extremely humbled by the invite. Also very happy to be here. It is my duty, honor, and privilege. So thank you so much.
Good, man. Thank you, man. You blessing me.
We go way back.
Good. My English teacher, 7th grade. Yeah. Been a long time, man.
And our families are like so interconnected, like, you know what I'm saying?
It's crazy.
So this is bound in destiny.
Look, so I want you to introduce yourself, your name, where you from, and just tell me your background.
All right, I am the artist known as Big Six Velvet Jones. I am a native Nashvilleian. I was born in Meharry. We moved to Andrew Jackson Courts. My grandmother eventually moved to 23rd Avenue North, 1501 23rd Avenue North. Lived with my aunt at 1416 Ireland Street, Andrew Jackson Courts. My family comes from Blank Street, Andrew Jackson Courts. And so, like I said, I'm a North Side baby. Graduated from Tennessee State University. One of the, magnificent things about being a North Side baby is that homecoming is right there on your street.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I live on 23rd, so TSU homecoming was like right on my street. So, even though, I could have gone anywhere for college, I was accepted everywhere. But, TSU made the most sense. So, for a lot of reasons. So, TSU graduate. Like you mentioned, I do a lot of work with kids. I do a lot of work, with my general. Shout out my general, Jaffe Judah, who is, he's super active in the community, and I'm more in the school. So, we Batman and Robin that way. But and then there's the artistry. There's a 20-year music career. I am an avid teacher and learner. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't think you can do one without the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am a nerd. Like, I just collect information. I dive down rabbit holes. You know what I mean? Like, before there was a woke, our parents, people of my age, our parents raised us with a certain consciousness. You know what I'm saying? A certain awareness. And like, we used to get that speech, like, you got to work 2 to 3 times as hard as your white counterpart, that type of speech. You know what I'm saying? Right. We used to get we had these pictures in the space, you know what I mean, in the living space, and so, we grew up listening to Tupac, so we had a different mindset, our minds were more open and able to receive information because we were raised that way. Like, you know what I'm saying? We were raised reading books and being exposed to information. So I come from an era where, that was the thing, to be conscious and to be able to have some talk for a brother when you pull up. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm gonna put you onto this type game right here because this is what you need to know. I come from that time, so that's kind of who I am, and it's really influenced who I am as an artist as well.
So what motivated you to want to be a rap artist?
Okay, so I nearly died. I had a death scare. I say it like that. I was in a situation where, I was losing my vision. I remember a kid passed me at basketball. In basketball practice, I was a basketball coach. I was a football coach. I was the man.
Okay.
You understand? Like, I'm living life right now. Like, I am who poured into me, the people that poured into me, my coaches, my teachers, that I am that now. Jordan suits, Jordans, you know what I'm saying, gold chains. The kids want to be in my class. You know what I mean? Because I relate. I come from the struggle.
Right.
So the vibrations is there long before we understood what they were. You know what I'm saying? So, but a kid passed me a ball in practice, and I'm like, I had to catch it twice, and I ain't never had that problem before.
You're a hooper, yeah.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't never had that problem before. So it was like, okay, what was that? And so like it started happening rapidly after that. I started to notice like I can't see. So I thought that I needed like some thick ass glasses. I'm sorry for cussing. Can I cuss? Can I be?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I thought I needed like some windshield ass glasses, and I was like, you know, the vanity. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, I don't want that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that became the least of my worries. You know what I'm saying? And so I go see an eye doctor, and she was cold, man. She was really astute, and she was a good doctor. And you know, she did some exams and whatever, and she said, I don't think there's anything wrong with the eye. I think there's something pressing on the eye. It's like there's something behind it. And so she gave me this pamphlet, and I remember looking at macular degeneration. And I was like, God, please I don't want that. I didn't have to worry about that either. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's, you know, it's crazy how your mind works. So, she said, I want you to go see a friend of mine. He's a brain eye specialist. I wasn't scared yet.
That sounds a little spooky.
Well, okay, but I wasn't scared yet. You know what I'm saying? Mama ain't raised no punk. So, I go see the guy, and he puts me through a test. I gotta look in, I gotta hit the button when I see the light, you know what I'm saying? So it's like a video game. I put my left eye in, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Go. I'm ready.
Every now and then.
You know what I mean? And he's like, hey, I want you to go get an MRI. I want you to go get a brain scan. I got a little nervous.
Right.
Okay. So, this is happening fast. You know?
Was it like weeks?
Okay, so this is happening over the course of a week and a half. Okay? So I go get the MRI.
Mm-hmm.
All right? I go get the MRI. I go see him the next day. All right? He pulls it out. Yeah, you got a brain tumor.
Hey!
Just like that. Just like that. Like no bedside manner, no kindness to it. You know what I'm saying? No, you might want to have a seat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
no,
this is what
you
it
feel
is.
me? Yeah, you got a brain tumor, homie. And it's big. That motherfucker huge. He talking to me like I'm talking to you. He's like, I really haven't seen one this big.
What was you thinking then?
I really wasn't thinking. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, okay, cause let me give you a little backdrop on this. Like personally, in my personal life, right? I am in the gym. I don't mean just like in the gym. I mean like I'm in the gym. I'm benching 365, squatting close to 500. You know what I'm saying? Like I am doing this. I jump rope 20 minutes as a warm up. This is what I was doing at the time. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm coaching basketball. I'm in the middle of we're about to start the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm living life. I'm married. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm, you know, living life. You know, everything comes to a stop. what do you mean I have a brain tumor? I have a brain tumor? He was like, yeah. He was like, it's on your pituitary. Your pituitary sits in a dish like this. He was like, and your optic nerves are right here, and your right optic nerve controls your left eye, and your the optic nerve controls your right eye. And he was like, and your tumor is taking up that space, and it's crushing your optic nerves. He said, yeah, it's about the size of a small orange, a tangerine.
Is it deadly?
Well, I don't think I asked him if I was going to die. I didn't ask him. Okay, he said, I want you to go see my friend Friday. Okay, so I go see him. But this guy is not the guy. Okay, because he say to me, this how he talked to me. Okay, I'm like, they cool. I see why they cool. They both assholes. Okay, so I pull up on him and he's like, yeah, you got a big brain tumor. We need to get that out of there. Okay, I got some questions first.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got some questions first. So I say, why do I have to have a surgery? There are no medicines I can take. Is it a pill? Can I get a pill? He's like, He was like, man, look, you're already going blind. He said, you leave that thing in there and you're going to be a vegetable. Is that what you want for her? He said, you're not going to be able to walk, talk, speak.
Well, it's made up at that point.
So at this point, I get a clear picture that I got to get it out there. Okay, so I'm like, all right, what are you talking about? So he's like, I usually don't do brain surgeries. I usually do back surgeries. He was like, but me and my homie, sometimes we switch off. I'm like, yeah, he's not the guy. I look at him, I'm like, no, we gonna start the car. You know what I'm saying?
A back doctor looking at your eye, yeah.
We gonna start the car. This not the guy. You know what I'm saying? He said, or you can get a second opinion. I'm like, that's it. That's what we're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So I go get the second opinion, brother. And I meet a team of doctors at Vanderbilt. And I meet Dr. Reed Thompson, and I knew he was gonna be the one to do my brain surgery.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to Dr. Reed Thompson. You know, he started a couple brain clinics. And at this point, he's over all the brain surgeons in this region. You know what I'm saying? Like he holds meetings where they talk about the brain. And, you know, like they are a think tank. Like, dude is unreal. Okay? But he peeled me back like this. You know what I'm saying? Peeled me back like this. And
you remember it? You remember like the surgery and all that?
no, I don't remember it because I was out for the surgery. But it's like, you know, he cut my scalp open. Removed a 7-inch flap from my skull and just removed pieces of the tumor like that. It was a 9-hour surgery and I nearly bled out. So, but, you know, and then there was the recovery process. You know what I'm saying?
How long that take?
It took some time. You know, people say, you know, because the body's not really meant to be opened up and then closed back up. You know what I'm saying? It's not really meant for that. But, you know, it's meant to be hermetically sealed. You know what I'm saying? But it took some time, you know, psychologically, you know, lots of time. I mean, you know, it was traumatic. You know, it was a difficult thing to go through. You know what I mean? And then subsequently learning that I couldn't have kids because of the tumor, you know what I'm saying, all of the ways in which it affected my life, the medicines and the, you know what I mean, all that, you know. But the good thing was I had always been in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
So my body healed differently than they anticipated. Even in the second brain surgery, with the second brain surgery, when the tumor came back, uh, I took the radiation well, better than most. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the point of the story is not what happened to me. The point of the story is that, cause look, man, everybody got problems, right? And we can all put our problems on this table right here. And you might just go ahead and pick your shit back up. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Once you see what everybody else is dealing with. My brother and I had a conversation. He was like, because he was getting ready to go to prison. And he was like, look, I couldn't do that. He said, I can do this. I done been to prison before. I can do prison. He was like, but I couldn't do that. Voluntarily, go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, get your scalp peeled back. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the hardest part is like putting your clothes in that bag, like, you know what I'm saying, like really, because I could have ran. At any point, I could have said, you know what,
You just wait and see what happens.
you know what I'm saying? I'm here until I'm gone. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, but to go through, we go through what we grow through what we go through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We grow through what we go through. And the level of strength and perseverance that I have now as a result of all the things that I've overcome. Man, I'm undefeated, bro. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
I stand here now undefeated. Poverty didn't kill me. Brain surgery didn't kill me. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the obstacles that we face in this life, we're still here. We still here. And you should celebrate that daily. That's your tenacity on display. You undefeated, bro. You done beat 100% of your bad days. Because you still here. This life, life be life, and that's how people say it, but it's true. And it's like, we deserve to be acknowledged for our tenacity.
Yeah.
So, I appreciate you, asking me to be here.
No problem, man. I know you had a story, man. I wanted to hear it.
Yeah.
So how'd you come up? How many siblings you got?
I have one sister, but I got a whole lot of brothers.
Right.
Like, some that I done picked up along the way. You know what I'm saying? I have one. I'm gonna have one sister. I'm the oldest. It was just us.
Okay. Mama and daddy? You have mama and daddy?
For a time. My parental story is like really a study of something that happens to so many black men. Okay. So, my mama was a single mother when she had, in the beginning, she met a man, married him. They had another child, my sister. And so, he tried his best. He was in college trying to, maintain a track scholarship. And it was impossible to work a job, run track of all sports.
Man, yeah.
Okay, grueling, you know what I'm saying? And try to maintain a family, like babies.
Yeah.
Okay. So he went to the military. Dude became a super soldier. Do you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
He was a super soldier. And so, like, gradually, things got better. And when they divorced, we went to an even deeper level of poverty than we were at before.
Right.
And so it's certain things that all brothers have in common. You know what I'm saying? Like when you grow up in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell people like when you live in a trash can, it's hard to come out clean. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
It's hard to come out clean when you live in the gutter. You know what I mean? You done pimped on something, you done stole something, you done sold something, you know what I mean? You done something, you done banged something, you done something.
Right.
You know, so when we come from these environments, you know, and you know, like I said, I spend most of my time in North and East Nashville. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the people that I'm around, they not necessarily going to college.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know, I had that opportunity because I was blessed with the gift. You know what I mean?
Right.
But them not so much. You know what I'm saying? So, but I was, you know, my life, my story is just like everybody else's story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we don't die, we multiply. So.
Amen. Amen. Look, so college. How was college as far as, you know, coming from the hood and then, you know, dealing with the financial aspect of going to college?
Okay, the financial aspect of college for me was phenomenal because I got paid to go to school. I had my refund checks was outstanding.
Right.
Okay, I was over awarded, and books paid for, and you know, the whole shebang. You know what I mean? But college is an eye-opening experience. It's a cultural experience when you go to a HBCU. It ain't nothing like coming out of class on a regular day and you hear music. It's a DJ outside of the student center. The cues is stepping, you know, the girls is out, you know, and it's a fly experience.
Yeah.
It also, there ain't nothing like somebody hit you with what you doing. Nah, shit, what you doing? I'm on the grill. I got the, well, I'm gonna go get the whatever,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The dude gonna go get the whatever, and he gonna bring the hose, you know what I'm saying? And now we got us the atmosphere. You know what I mean? Like, that experience, it's phenomenal.
Right.
And it's really hard to articulate, even though, you know, that's what we're doing. It's hard to articulate, you know, it becomes a part of you. It's, you know, my TSU experience, it was like an extension of, nah, I don't want to say that. Okay. It was some of the best times in our life, and we didn't even know it, though. I will say that. Yeah. It was the best times in our life, and we didn't even know it, because after that ain't shit but work.
Yeah.
But my TSU experience, I treasure it. College was dope. I recommend it for everybody.
Right. Man, I just asked about the financial because I went and I didn't know what I was getting into. I just knew I wanted to go.
Right.
And, you know, I get there and everybody talking about financial aid. I'm worried about the parties. You know,
exactly.
I'm worried about the parties. And, you know, I get a semester into architectural engineering and get a call to the office and they dropping my classes. I got unpaid financials. And, you know, she like, oh, but we need $5,000 by this weekend.
And you know what? Your case is just, when I say brothers got all the same stories, like I had friends who, bro, nobody sat us down and taught us how to. There was a teacher here, maybe a teacher there, you know, somebody who was in one of the fraternities or sororities who would take a student, a particular student that they had take an interest in, you know what I'm saying, or had a good bond with, and they might help walk them through it.
Yeah.
But nobody sat all of us down and like, this is how you fill out FAFSA. These are applications to college that are like $5 or $10.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, I mean, this is how you try to get to JUCO, or this is how you try to get to, you know what I mean? Like, nobody was like giving us direction on that. I tell you what, when you walk on campus, the first thing they're gonna hit you with is the credit card people.
Yeah, yeah.
So the credit card people right there, because they know you just turned 18. You know something? Let me go ahead and hook you up right now.
Yeah,
right.
They had them at the door.
Because you going straight to the mall, right?
Yeah.
And now I got you on the hook for 3 racks, and plus interest. And you ain't got no job. You ain't got no money, because you in class.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got 12 to 15 hours, 15 to 18 hours worth of class, and you got homework. When you gonna go to school? I mean, when you gonna go to work? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I got you on the hook. You owe me. You know what I mean?
Quick too.
So
yeah.
the credit card people gonna come, and then when you get in the jam, when you get a girl pregnant, or you know what I'm saying, when your bill ain't paid for whatever reason, the people that were supposed to send you the scholarship didn't send it, or whatever. Then you got to go to the financial aid office, and you taking out loans, and I mean they want blood.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's mean enough.
You know,
I've been in that office.
You know,
they ain't playing happy music.
But you know, they got people hooked for life. You know, people go to law school, you know, medical school. They got people hooked for life on them things. So it's crazy. I thank God that I was scholarshiped and graduated with no debt. That's one of the best things to ever happen to me.
Man, yeah, you don't hear about that. You don't hear about that.
Yeah.
That's all right, man. That's all right. So what do you think? As far as where do you think our culture is right now?
Oh God. Okay, so you know, there's the group think, right? Mm-hmm. Like group think, everybody emotes the same, everybody responds the same, everybody turned up and aggressive. You know what I'm saying? There's that. There's the like narrow-mindedness that exists in pockets of our community, because our community is waking up. No doubt about it. You see brothers rocking aunts, they might just know a little bit. I got a homie, he the worst. You know what I'm saying? Because he'll hit you, he'll try to start a conversation with me and know I'm finna brrr, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And he wanna talk the game, but he don't know it. He just know little bits of
Okay, so why do you say the kids are effed up? Because they are the future.
You know how I talked about when I was, you know, the way that we grew up. And I hate to start off that way. Man, I don't want to start off that way. Because I don't want to compare, you know, generations and all that stuff. I can tell you exactly what happened.
That's what I want to know. What happened?
I can give you a timeline. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Do you remember the Cosby Show?
Yes.
Okay. So, you know, just proof positive of how impactful television can be. All right. So, the Cosby Show was family viewing. Families all across America, especially so-called black families, all across America would sit down and watch the Cosby Show, and subsequently, A Different World. It came on after.
Yeah.
This is the first time we saw. This was not dysfunction. This was not heroin addicts and pimps, and you know, this was not from the 70s, not like the 70s, blaxploitation films at all. This was not like that, right? This was wholesome. Okay, this was pure. A doctor, a lawyer, all the kids went to college. A different world comes on. We see black people. We see the fraternities, the sororities. We see how lit black colleges. We see young black people, so-called black people, dealing with all the issues that come with that being that age. Okay? Enrollment in so-called black colleges and HBCUs shot up.
Okay.
Took that shit off there.
Hmm.
They gave us Real World. And you know what Real World was? MTV used to be Rap City, the base, you know, like Rap City, you know, like not, it was Yo MTV Raps. We have, you know, all that programming that we had that was like our culture being fed to us, you know, and it was self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction. All them positive images of black, so-called black people. Took all that shit out there. They gave us Real World. Reality TV, the birth of reality TV. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And that set a match. Society is eroding. Okay? Society is eroding. The toothpaste is out the tube. And you can't put that shit back in. We can't go back. Real World gave us sex, violence, drugs, alcoholism, party. The music went dark. Okay? And that affected some of us. We caught the beginning of it, but it wasn't, we had been exposed to other things, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, this generation has been overexposed. They are hyper-sexualized. They are extremely violent. The numbers bear it out. Like, they're killing each other because that's what their music tells them to do. That's what every image they see. You turn on TV, 300 people get shot in every show.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing to see people die. They're numb. You know, I'm a conscious rapper by choice. I can rap about the shit. I can rap about the streets. I can rap about that. And I would do it better than you do it. I swear to God. You know what I'm saying? Because my bars is major. You know what I'm saying? I'm an English major. That's what I do. I write. But there's you gotta pay, man. You gotta pay for what you say. And you know, the things that these kids are being influenced by are all negative. Their parents are you know, the screens for the babies.
Yeah.
The screens for the babies. My God, man. It's like they're being raised on screens.
Enslaving them early.
Man, what? And just being exposed to violence. Exposed to inappropriate behaviors. You know what I'm saying? Like, inappropriate behaviors are commonplace. There are behavioral norms, there are social norms. Okay?
Right.
The social norm is what's going to be expected of them in school.
Right.
Okay? Like, you don't hit people, you keep your hands to yourself, you talk in a low tone, you know, what we would consider like civilized behavior.
Yes.
Okay? But if your home is uncivilized, if your home is off the hook, if your parents are fighting and you see this as a child, if the child has a physiological and psychological need for both parents, and one of them is not there, then survival instincts, and the whole shebang. They have been failed. They have been fed this diet of destruction, and that's why they don't respect anything or respect themselves. Why would I respect adults who have failed me? Why would I respect you if you created this construct for me?
Right.
Why would I respect you?
And it's like I guess you'd say our culture, but we're being attacked from different angles. They're attacking women from one angle, children from another angle, and men another angle.
Yeah.
So it's all divided.
It's a full court press.
Yeah.
And we need, but again, there is the groundswell of conscious people. The awakening is happening, and it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I believe. If we don't believe that, well, we have evidence of the each one teach one happening. You know what I'm saying? The podcast, the see brothers debating on Facebook, Instagram. You see, brothers dropping knowledge all over the place. You got from the Jamals to the Bobby Hemmets and the, you know what I'm saying, the Yakis and we got all these brothers that we gotta protect. You know what I mean? Because this game is available to us right now. This is the information age. This is the age of Aquarius, you know what I'm saying? So it's like this outpouring of information that's just, it's becoming available and breaking spells. But is it happening at a fast enough rate to save our kids? Save this group of kids right here? I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Cause it's some kids, man. I know some kids going through it, and you can see the anger in their eyes.
Right, I got the access. For whatever reason, they give me the access. I remember I was talking to a young gangbanger, you know what I'm saying? About their life, as they say, okay? I have seen it on display. I've seen evidence of this, right? Okay, so he got the safety pin, you know what I'm saying? Like,
through the colors, yeah.
What's the safety pin for the colors? He was like, no, not this time. He said, that's nice. He was like, I'm glad you know that. He said, but this one right here is when it's closed, I'm out of business. But when it's open, then they could come shop with it. He tell me this. We in the hallway in the school. Now, I had been using the bathroom, in a bathroom. Matter of fact, I've had to ask permission to go in the bathroom because the kids in there smoking. I'm talking about smoking like a factory. It is.
They ain't scattered off or nothing?
They're not running. They looking at me like, I think he's a teacher. Okay? I was like, bro, is it cool for me? Can I pee right quick? You know what I'm saying? They're like, yeah, you cool. This has been my experience, you know what I'm saying? So they done told me, you know what I'm saying? They'll tell you,
Don't even hide it. We used to at least try to hide it.
Okay.
God.
And we hit it better than y'all.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We didn't never get caught. We didn't have to film ourselves with it.
Yeah, that was.
We didn't have to do that. We didn't need that validation. The money was what we wanted. You know what I'm saying? Because we trying to get up out the, you know what I'm saying?
We want something better, yeah.
We was always taught get in, get out. That was ghetto gospel. You know what I mean? But it's different.
That's long gone. That's long gone.
And I'm going to tell you this. When I was young, people would wonder why that young man is standing on that corner.
Yep,
but they would just keep driving by, right? Like he could make $1 million on that corner. Okay? Now, but you stand on that corner if you want to. By the time you got $10,000, they know who you're getting it from and who you selling it to.
Technology.
It's totally different, man. There's cameras everywhere. You got to keep your head on the swivel. And the streets is over. You know what I mean? So these kids are being lied to. Why would I respect you and you lied to me? All you did was lie to me.
Right. So you say the streets is over. What about snitching? How you feel? You think that's still in effect? You know.
Oh, it's definitely still in effect because nobody wants to go to prison.
Right.
You know, you wanted the glamour that came with this. You didn't want the slammer. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
you
right.
know, of course, that's alive and well, but you know, the streets is not my issue. You know what I'm saying? I go home to my family every day. You know, I am a devout father, and being a father is one of the best things. It's one of the things I do best. I am the sentinel. Like, I am the guardian. Do you hear me?
Mm.
You know, and because I'm not even, it's a blessing to even have my baby. You know, it took me 3 years for us to even be able to conceive a child. You know, after the brain surgery, you know, they told me, you know, you can't have children. And that hurt me, you know, but yeah, my miracle is 15 years old. My serenity.
Okay.
You know, and so I'm big on that. You know, us being fathers, because you know, with the kids that do have fathers, the kids that do have the structure, when you see them and they pause, because you know, you can have the structure at home. Them kids get exposed to them other kids, and a lot of times they still get distracted. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We done seen plenty good kids, you know.
Yeah, we're gonna go bad.
That didn't get out the car like Cuba Gooding Jr. And you know what I'm saying? They didn't get out the car. Now they got caught up in a bad situation, and now you got a thug for life.
Yeah.
You know, because you got to in there. You know what I mean? So.
Man, look, I got a 9-year-old, man. I've been having him watch like them old movies. He watched Boys in the Hood. And he fell in love with it. Just kept watching it. And I'm like, why? Why are you watching this exactly? He was like, I like him. I'm like, so who's your favorite? He said, Dope Boy. I said, oh. No. You missing the picture. No. I said, what do you think about Trey? He said, why'd he get out? Why did he get out? He didn't understand it.
Because his daddy is Furious Styles. That's
I said you saw his daddy giving him knowledge.
Yeah.
You saw Doughboy getting locked up young. Yeah. That's all he know.
Yeah. But his daddy was Furious Styles.
Yeah.
So that's why he got out the car. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because them seeds had already been sown a long time ago. And, you know, that's why I just try to when I'm talking to brothers, you know, groups of brothers, or, you know, when I'm talking to groups of kids, young men, and with young men, we teaching them how to be, you know, grow from boys to men, you know, just the code of conduct that you need to have as a young man. You know what I mean? You know, the self-control, nothing gonna get you in more trouble than how you deal with a young lady. You know what I'm saying? Those type of talks. But when we talking to the brothers, we talking about, man, we got to be present as fathers. Like that, we got to protect these young ladies, cause there's some goons out here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we got to protect our daughters, and we have to be models for our sons, because what's happening is, you know, these young boys are being predominantly raised by women, so they're going to emote like women. That's what the crash out is. The crash out is the feminine energy, but it's an attempt at masculinity. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
At supreme masculinity, because you think you've been led to believe that masculinity looks like shooting people, don't take no shit. Anytime I'm disrespected, I'm gonna kill somebody. That's what you've been taught to believe. You think that's masculinity, you know what I mean? But, behaving emotionally or responding emotionally is not really.
It's a horrible thing to do. Horrible.
And so the conversations that I'm having with kids are, you got a flat tire. Something happened. Don't set the whole car on fire. Okay? Deal with the tire. You know what I mean? Deal with the issue. Whatever it was that happened, deal with what happened. But don't blow up. Because that's usually when bad things happen.
Yeah. Amen. Amen. So do you believe at some point that black people are their own worst enemy?
It's hard to say because systemic systems are still at play, are always at play. Okay. I gave you the trash can euphemism earlier. Who created the trash can?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who put us there? Who redlined us into these environments? You know what I mean? Like, this becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. It becomes cyclic in nature. Yeah, grow up, kill each other, boom, boom, boom. The babies grow up, kill each other, the boom, 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 because they never leave this environment. You know what I mean? Like the what is the rat wheel, the mouse wheel,
the hamster wheel.
Hamster wheel. Okay. Yeah, but who creates that environment for us? And relegates us to those situations, because with the schools, it looks like this. The rich kids will pay to go to certain schools so they don't have to be around any type of hood element, no other culture, etc. They will pay for that. Okay?
Right.
The intelligent kids will go to a magnet gifted type situation, And then the public schools, that's going to be your prison population and your work population. It's engineered. They are engineered to be in these circumstances. So yes, those systems are at play. But we are our own worst enemy when the brother is trying to give you the game and you like, well, the shit tastes good.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And then you giving it to your kids. That's when we're our own worst enemy. When we are indoctrinating our children into some bullshit, or feeding them,
Because they see, kids see what's going on.
It's hard to separate though, because, for example, a single mother, she can't work, it ain't like she can work 2 jobs, right?
Right.
So she can't, maximize her earning potential because she's trying to raise the kids. And she's in a rush, so she has to get fast food. And because she doesn't have as much money, she's paying for cheaper foods. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so it's like, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's just like, yes and no. Yes and no. We have another enemy. Mm-hmm. Believe that. That's far worse than I think we are to ourselves.
Okay. What is your opinion on religion? Is it a distraction?
I personally don't choose to operate under any religion. a religious journey. You know what I mean? Like, you know, there was what, you know, mom was on her search, so we had, as kids, she dragging us with her, you know, we go wherever she go. And then, you know, when I was at TSU, I went to a couple of NOI type situations to check out what the Botox brothers was talking about, you know, because Malcolm is my hero. Okay.
So who do you think they should have favored more, Malcolm or Martin?
Malcolm.
Why?
Undoubtedly.
Why?
Brother, what you gonna do? Somebody slap you in the face?
I mean, I'm just asking
Okay.
your opinion. Only Martin agreed to that.
Yeah, but you know the story on that. So, what was that? What was we talking about?
We was talking about religion.
Okay, so with religion, you know, I'm free from that. You know, I'm no longer bound by that. I've done my due diligence in terms of research, and I've just come to a place to where, you know, that's not the route I want to go. When I think about what the ancestors, you know, what they practice that's what religion is based on. What the ancestors practice anyway. Any human history timeline, you know, it shows melanated peoples, dark complected peoples were here long before anything else, right? And so in those early stages, they didn't practice religion. You know, religion became a concept that was developed much, much later. And if that's the case, then we know it's not really necessary. One thing about religion I guess the second thing about religion that I'm cool on is like giving the responsibility to something else when the responsibility is ultimately on me. The accountability will ultimately be on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, I can't wait for some miracle to happen. You know, I have to go and do the thing if it's going to be done. The accountability lies with me. So, you know, I am the he and won't he do it? You know what I'm saying? I gotta do it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, in terms of spirituality, in terms of understanding, you know, vibrations and, you know, the cosmos and, you know, subconscious and consciousness and, you know, we can have all those types of conversations and history, you know, not his story, but actual history. And we could talk for hours and think critically about every aspect of religion. You know, if we could be objective and not emotional. And I don't often find that people are able to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most people start with
people who are religious,
Mm-hmm.
They're very emotional about their religion. So it's just best not to discuss it. But they backdoored us, you know, with, you know, the George Washington cutting down of the cherry tree. Ever since they decided that they were going to exclude us from everything after we taught them how to be here, ever since Birth of a Nation, the narrative has been that that's who we are. The dangerous black man. We are the gangster, we are the killer, we are the drug dealer, we are the rapist, we are the, you know, even the term black, like
negative in the dictionary.
yeah,
Negative.
Okay, it is literally dead in law. Okay? It is civility mortuus. It means you're dead in law. That's why the police can kill us and they don't go to jail for it. But did he call himself black? Was he a black man? You shot a black man? Okay, he was already dead in law. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
So it's it's no biggie. All right, they cold blue anyway. So
they say bleed blue. That's a we bleed blue. That's what
they cold blue anyway. So it don't matter. But ever since the movie Birth of a Nation, where white people painted themselves in blackface and chased white women. This was the image that they wanted to push of us, that we were dangerous with. But really, their experience with us has been the antithesis, okay, of that. Because black women used to raise white babies.
Yes.
White women got some explaining to do.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you was racist toward us based on safety. He was beating the hell out of you, number one, as the white man, you know what I'm saying? And the whole racism play was safety for the white woman, because she wasn't allowed to vote. She, you know what I'm saying, was you know what I mean?
Right.
And historically speaking, white men wanted everything for themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're boys' club. Okay.
That pretty much sums it up right there. Yeah.
So black people have been some of the most benevolent people we are the most benevolent people on the face of the earth. Black people don't hold hostility for white people walking around daily.
No.
Not at all. Okay? So, because our natural vibration is love, we had to be taught to hate, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We had to be taught to hate. You see a brother with a gun, and it was to protect. That was love.
Yeah, to protect us. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So we had to be taught to hate, and that's why when you ask me about the kids, that's, you know what I mean?
So what do you think as far as what we're called? Do you think African American is correct?
No.
What should
How can it be?
I ain't never been to Africa.
Right. Nor have I had the pleasure or opportunity to go to Africa, but I'm gonna jump on it when I do. My mama goes frequently, and she loves it.
Anywhere particular?
Man, she picks a place, or will return to a place as she pleases. She loves going to Africa, but there are several ways we can attack this, okay? We can do etymology, we can do the semantics, we can do connotation, we can do the grammar rules, in terms of proper adjectives. People who from China, what are they?
Chinese.
Okay.
And protected by law.
From the highest court level, the human courts. A person who is from Ireland, they're Irish, right? Okay. A person who's from Jamaica, they're Jamaican, right? But a black man in America is black, if he chooses to be. Okay. If he falls for the surface level straw man corporational bullshit, if he's indoctrinated into it from birth by parents that don't know, like most of us are, right? So,
yeah. Okay. So at what point in time do you think the Black Panther vision was lost?
I mean, COINTELPRO is dedicated to that. Okay, so a brother said something to me the other day online. He was like, "COINTELPRO is over with." I was like, "What? Do you think the sabotage of the black community, is the so-called black community, is over with?"
Oh, never, never.
You know, I don't want to get away from the terms that we should be using, because it's a good question. When you think about it chronologically, it was nigger, which was was like a farm animal, but it was 3/5 of a human being. You were subhuman.
Yeah, less than him. Yeah,
Less
than a dog.
Yeah,
less than a dog. Yeah,
on paper. You know what I'm saying? By the law, you were 3/5 of a human. You were subhuman. Dred Scott case, right?
Mm-hmm.
So nigger, all right. Negro, colored, Afro-American. Now, for about 30 years in this country, we was named after a hairstyle.
So that was the 70s with the afros and whatnot.
We was Afro-American. They was calling us Afro-American because of our ability to grow an afro.
Mm. So they can
people
call
that
us
color,
what they want.
People that color are called Afro-American. So then, in the 80s, late 80s, 90s, African-American, which was supposed to be, and then now we're in the area where people are using indigenous, and I prefer the term aboriginal, because, it goes, aboriginal can take us all the way back to Pangea. You know what I mean? Mm. Aboriginal can take us, it is, we are the earth erected. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We are, our skin color, just like every other animal, blends in with the earth. Blends in with our habitat, which is the earth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, etymologically, indigenous is not necessarily the best word, but aboriginal is what I want.
Aboriginal, okay.
But describe it as what it is, which is melanated. That copper colored brother. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We got a kind of a caramel thing going on.
Yeah.
If I do say so myself.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, there was one point in time you were supposed to be ashamed to be super dark. All African booty scratching. He was midnight jet black.
Look at all the different psyops that have been run on us. And for somebody to say that COINTELPRO is over, like all these different psyops that have been run on us, these different programs that have been run on us, from colorism to classism to how we're not poor. Black people are not poor. Right. If black people could pool their money, they'd be
it's a mindset.
They'd be the third strongest nation in the world if they brought their money together. But financially speaking, but we're not poor. But let's just say, we poor, but we still got this competition thing with each other.
And it's only with each other.
We still got this competition thing, like, I got my shoes fresher than yours, or my chain, or my clothes, or my, whip, or my chick, or my, the hip hop, because again, it's like this brainwashing or like group think mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you didn't have a chain, you was nobody.
Man, you can't have one. You can't just have one. You gotta have two. It's like your shoes. You look like, you look with one chain, like you look with one shoe.
God, that's wild.
At this point, ever since 2 Chainz been out, you gotta have
pretty
two,
much.
bro.
Yeah, you gotta have two. Okay, so tell me, as an educator, what is something that every child should know?
How to read. Okay, so right now these kids can't read. All right, for a lot of reasons. The TikTok, they code with the TikTok dances, but they can't read. All right, and this is nationally. And math is bad too. In Baltimore City schools 2-3 years ago, nobody passed. 0 kids passed the state exam in mathematics. So nationally, our kids are not performing well academically. And I love my mama. I am so proud and so happy to have had the mama that I had. The mama that said, get your butt in the house when these porch lights come on. The mama that mama don't take no mess. The mama that said, but the mama that also taught me to read before I got to school. The mama that had me underlining vowels and sounding out consonants and teaching me consonant blends and phonemes and morphemes and teaching me teaching me sight words. A-T spells at, C-A-T spells cat, M-A-T spells mat, F-A-T spells fat, P-A-T spells pat, R-A-T spells rat. Word building. Like it was a game. I did the same with my G-Baby. You know what I'm saying? I had Serenity in the high chair with the My Baby Can Read program. Man, the first time she got 3 in a row, I got the camera. She in the high chair. She get 3 in a row. She get 10 words right, 3 in a row. I think I got a genius.
Yeah,
I think she ready for the school for X-Men. You feel me?
Yeah, okay.
So I get the camera out. I'm like, oh, this is for real. I had to do the research. My baby just smart. A genius would tell you at 6 months, this diaper is dirty. You need to do something about this. That's when you got a genius, baby.
He got something.
Yeah, but my baby just really smart. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, you got to have the structure. The structure has to be there, and parents are just kicking it with their kids, bro. They pick them up, kid go to the room, they on their phone, you on your phone, and then to the separate room, or the kid is in the car right there listening to the grown folks' conversation. My mom will say, let me call you when I get to the house. Because I got these kids in the car right now.
Yeah, this boy in my mouth.
Yeah, I'm saying.
My mom used to say.
All in my mouth.
Yeah. You don't hear that no more.
That was the ear hustling back in the days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but it was a separate, you didn't sit there with grown folks at the table while they drinking and kicking and partying. Now the mama smoking the blunt on the way to school with the baby. The baby get out the car and come into school smell like weed, and they sweating the child, and the child ain't done nothing wrong. The parent has wronged the child.
So how often do you see that as an educator?
What?
Out of 10, how many? Give me a percent. How many?
Man, we don't have time for me to tell you. The kids is high now, though.
So the kids are being failed.
Not only that, the kids are intoxicated. The kids are violent. The kids are hypersexualized, and they can't read. They can dance though. They can do the TikTok dance.
I hate to say it, man. It sounds like you describing a monkey.
But again, these are psyops that are being run on our kids. You know what I'm saying? Like these are, you know what I mean? Like it's, Mama used to say, Grandmama used to say, turn that TV off. Right?
Yeah.
It's right here in your hand. It's attached to you.
And like you said, soon as they big enough to hold it, they got it.
Yeah. You got the long neck now.
That's dangerous, man. That's dangerous. So
it's the new crack cocaine. It's the dopamine in your brain. So look, the attention span short. Attention span was already age plus 10 minutes. We was already doing school wrong anyway, trying to hold you in there for an hour and a half, yada, yada, yada. We already doing it wrong anyway. But now the attention span is even shorter. Because they're watching 30-second clips. They're watching 1-minute clips. They're not watching That's why they not listening to your song, brother. They can't listen to the whole song. Ain't nobody died yet. Ain't nobody died yet. He ain't pulled out the stick yet. He ain't busting at the ops yet. We 30 seconds in.
And that's what they looking for.
That's why he's not listening to the music for that message. That's why the conscious rapper is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because growing up, you're supposed to listen for the message.
But
it was more than just the beat.
Now the messengers are only talking to each other. And the messengers are, competing. The messengers will compete.
Right.
It's crazy.
So do you feel, I don't know, so do you feel like we're being fed too much information and it's hard to decipher, or what do you think?
I think, okay, so as far as that, there are people who, you got to watch who you getting your information from. There have always been credible sources and sources that are not credible. That has always been the case.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to, for every Delbert Blair, there's a Carson. What's his name? Billy Carson. You see what I'm saying? So you got to decipher between them sources, and your soul will tell you what resonate with your spirit is truth. You gonna feel it. You gonna know.
Okay, I get you. So what would you say to the kids in the hood who feel like their only way out is with this basketball, or with this football? What are other ways that they could change their environment?
I'm gonna keep it real with them. Okay, so number one, if you're not 6'7", in high school, the likelihood is that you're not gonna make it to the NBA.
I got a nephew. He like 5 foot, and he swear he's going to the NBA.
I used to have kids in class who didn't even play for me who would tell me they going to the NBA. They wasn't even playing. But somehow miraculously it's gonna happen. The kids, and they live in this, fantasy land, and sometimes there are people who feed into that, and we don't know anything about it. So when we dealing with them, we're dealing with the delusion. Delusional adults. Stop it, Tess. You know what I'm saying? We know delusional adults. So, okay, look, let's say, Brad, there's only 300 NBA players. You realize that? Only 350 people out of 2 billion people in the world. 8 billion people in the world, it's only 350 NBA players.
I never think of that. When you say it like that, that's crazy.
It's only 2,800 NFL players.
True. Between
2,500 and 2,800 NFL players. You know what I'm saying? People who can play professional football. Out of 8 billion people on the planet, but you're gonna make it. What's more realistic? And it's crazy because you can't fault the kid. That's what his whole family structure. That's what they putting energy behind. They putting energy behind his games. They going to the games. They supporting him there. When we call it home, ain't nobody answering the phone. They got us on block. They got the school block.
Give me a minute, baby. Give me a minute. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? One person come to the meeting. The kids whose parents we need to see, they not showing up to the meeting at the school. We're trying to tell you about his disability. We're trying to tell you what we're seeing in school. We're trying to tell you that he's telling us about the dysfunctionality in his home, and we need to talk to you before DCS get involved, because we mandatory reporters.
Right.
But you don't want to rap. But you at the game though.
Yeah, you're right. And you at the uncle's party when he get out of jail.
Help me. Help me help you. Help me help you.
that is wild. Yeah, that is wild.
You know, ideally, in a utopian situation, it would be me and you working together for the benefit of this young person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and when they see us together, it's impenetrable. You know, I couldn't lie to my mama. You know, matter of fact, I couldn't tell the truth to my mama. My mama said, if the teacher called, there must be a reason. You're doing something. Turn your ass around.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know
Something happened, yeah.
Something happened. They called me for a reason. Your job is to make sure they don't call me.
Pretty much, yeah. That's pretty much it. But, man, I got people around me, young people, man. I'm like, you 20, you've been out of school years, you ain't done nothing. You just in here. Why not be a plumber? You know, why not be an electrician? Somebody always need their stuff fixed. And, you know, it won't be the next big rapper. But I don't know, man. I feel like, you know, okay.
So tell me this.
They don't see
it. Is it a spell? Is it a what is wrong? Why is it that so many of them are in that situation? Why is that?
I guess it's what they see. You know, they don't see, you know, the plumber online getting all the money and all the girls. They see the rapper doing that. You know, don't nobody go crazy over the electrician who paying his bills.
But that guy's an actor. Everybody on TV is an actor.
But they don't see that. The youth don't see that.
They don't.
I know for a fact. I got 5 little ones in there right now who they'll swear to you that the person on TV, that's that person all day, every day.
That's their money.
Yeah, that they ain't in debt to the record company. You know, they made it. He made it off one song, Daddy. He made it. They don't see that. They don't see it.
Well,
how do we fix it? How do we show them that it's okay to be an electrician? It's all right to, you know, drive that truck and take care and be a family man. They don't want that. They want to party and just coast through life till it's too late.
Your argument is convincing, and I can only go back to, you know, I'm a positive person, you know, so my positivity, you know, permeates, you know what I mean? It's in my music, it's in my life, it's in my, you know, it's my talk, in my walk, you know. So I gotta have faith. I gotta believe that the rate at which we're waking up, the each one teach one that's happening, will win. I have to believe that it'll win. I wish it would happen faster. You know.
Yeah, a lot of brothers don't wake up till they knocking at 30.
And you know, some brothers do have to go down through that, you know, to learn. You know, God got to talk real loud to some people.
Yeah.
You know, some of us get the warning. Ooh, okay, got it. Don't do that again.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
But some people, you know, everybody got their own journey that they gotta take. And I think that's another thing that's happening is that we are reducing or removing the stigma of therapy. Kids have to be. We need, and if not therapy, then the parents need an awareness of mindfulness, trauma-informed care. What are the triggers? You know, what's causing the anger? You know what I'm saying? What triggers the anger? And what is it? Like, ask the questions and spend the time to figure out what it is, what the underlying issues are that he's not able to articulate in those moments where he's angry. Also, they need coping skills. Okay, so again, when you have healthy role models and you're not in a dysfunctional situation, you can model good. Healthy parents will model going to the gym. They will model listening to music or talking to friends as a way to remove stress. Taking a nap. You know what I mean? Like, there are coping skills that people need to have in place. You know what I mean? Because we all are going to have emotional situations, whether it be sadness when someone dies. How do you cope with that? Or anger when you're late for work. How do you cope with that? Like, we all need mechanisms that we use to cope. Mm-hmm. Everybody needs to be equipped with that. And so teaching emotional intelligence to people needs to be the wave, instead of negativity being the wave all the time.
Right. Well, how do we so I guess the coping mechanisms that would, help as far as the young boys responding so emotionally to everything, right?
So it not just young boys, grown men. This is how I cope. I go to the gym because I'm pissed off, or I had a long day, a rough day, or maybe I'm not feeling my normal self, so I go get some dopamine, you know what I mean, to make me feel better and get me back online. You know what I'm saying? So, it just, that's what it is for me. Sometimes it's watching a movie with my daughter, just spending time with her. Sometimes it's talking to Judah or talking to a trusted friend about things that's going on between me and the wife, or, whatever. We all have our way, our means of dealing with things. Okay? So that's what coping skills are. You learn these over the years. These are the ways in which I deal. That's not drinking and drugging.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Drinking and drugging is destructive. You need something constructive.
Don't get nothing done.
You need something constructive as a coping skill.
Okay, so what would you say to the young brother, man, who's lost? He's lost in life. He don't know which way to go. He could be at a crossroad in his life. Where he fresh out, and it's hard doing right, because doing the right thing ain't always the easiest thing.
Yeah.
How would you motivate him to keep on the right track?
The conversations that I have with brothers, and I talk to brothers who are in the circumstances and situations that they are in, where it runs the gamut. Okay, mm-hmm. So I've had that conversation as well. We respond well to praise. So my first thing is praise. I lead with praise. Whether I'm talking to a child, what I notice about you, and I'll pour into them in that moment. That's the first thing I do. Mm-hmm. You see how you perked up right then when I said that? Okay? And so I'm able to give them something right there. As far as guidance, I think the first thing you have to ask is, what do you want to do? What do you want to do?
Now, what is your response when their answer is?
Their answer is going to be the rap video. They want a bad chick. They want a nice car. They want a bag of money. They want all this. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now we got to talk about opportunity costs. What are you willing to do to obtain that? What are you willing to do? Are you willing to put in the work, the sweat equity to obtain that? Because this is what it's going to require of you. Now, you told me what you wanted. Mm-hmm. You said this is what you wanted. Here's what it costs. If you don't want to go back to prison, you're going to have to stay on the straight and narrow. It's going to be, doors slammed in your face, but we can't go back there. You told me you didn't want to go back there. So here's what it costs. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when you think about things critically like that, which is one of the main things we lack, self-control, critical thinking, you know what I'm saying? So when I'm talking to younger brothers, these are the subjects that I broach.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Thinking critically. Boom, pull it out here and look at that thing from all sides. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Objectively, absent emotion. That's what thinking critically is. Okay? Well, if I do this, this is going to happen. If I do this, this is going to happen. If I do this, I get this outcome. Okay? But what if, bam. Oh, all right, that's my best route. Okay?
Right.
So, I give what I can. I do what I can for people who will listen.
Right. Well, look, you say you're a student and a teacher.
Yes, sir.
So, if there was anyone in history who you could sit down and pick their brain, who would it be?
Oh, wow. I told you Malcolm is my hero. Muhammad Ali is my hero. Medgar Evers is my hero. Maybe Pac.
What's your opinion on him?
I'm mad at Pac. I'm mad at Pac because he got himself killed, man. Doing something he had no business doing. But I feel him though, because he was loyal. Pac was a real dude because he was loyal. And he was just loyal to something he had no business being loyal to.
That's what we're talking about. The good kid who, he get hooked to the wrong people.
Pac was, if you look like on the scale, the way historically, this is where it starts, right?
Right.
Okay. Everything else comes after this. Whether we talking about, GDs, P Stones, Crips, Bloods, whatever. Everything comes after this, right?
Yes.
So this was the original intent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Protect us because nobody else will.
Yeah, from them Jim Crow ass police.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was beating the brakes off of us and killing us like they always have. It's what they have always done. So, I'm sorry, I don't want to get too far away from your original question. What was the question again? Remind me what the question was.
Look, I think I lost it too. I was following your story. Well, look, what we'll do is, because you got just about everything I done wrote down.
Okay.
But I talked to your boy the other day. He called me the other night, woke me up. And you know what he going through,
Yeah.
And he always talk about you. He love you. He love you.
We was talking about Pop.
Yes. I know we was talking about Pop.
Yeah.
But we talking about, he tell me how much he love you and everything. Wake him up.
I can't.
Wait, save him. Somebody got to talk to that man.
He's not listening. I don't want to.
So you've been there before.
I don't want to say that on camera, but he's been on this. He's been on this ride for a minute.
Yeah, because I told him I was gonna interview you and I was gonna bring him up.
But we used to talk. And when things first started getting bad, and I would give him advice, and he wouldn't listen. Mm-hmm. He just wanted to talk, and so I would listen to him. Until I couldn't anymore, until I couldn't take it anymore, because he was just so self-destructive. So I knew it would end this way. I didn't know how we would get here, but I saw it, and it was killing me. I mean, it was killing me because you know this is the most charismatic dude you've ever met in your life. To know him is to love him.
Yeah.
You hear me? But he just wouldn't listen. I don't think he was listening to anyone.
You ain't the first person I've heard say that, so I believe it. I believe it.
So I just had to love him from afar.
I think he got lost having fun.
This thing breaks my heart. You know, it breaks my heart. He's not the first person I've had to, you know, like put any type of boundaries in place to protect my own personal peace. You know what I mean? He's not the first person I've had to do that with. So I've done that before, but this one hurt, you know, because I just had to be focused on. I was focused on what I'm focused on, which is my family. You know,
right? Growing up, we grown out here, yeah.
You know what I mean? We got business to handle, and I remember he told me something. He said, you know, he felt some kind of way, and I was like, at 40? You feel that way at 40? He said, at 40. You know what I mean? You know,
yeah.
You know how I was saying earlier, like some people you try to give them the game, but they like, you know what I'm saying? It tastes good.
Yeah.
You know, you tell them the Chick-fil-A sandwich is 60% chemicals, and they like, well, it's a good chemical. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's him.
They gonna lean into that shit. That's bruh. You know, but then he'll say, "Fuck you, mean?"
Yeah.
You know, but and I know that you know the same reason you love him is the same reason, the same thing make you mad, same thing make you laugh, make you cry.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm sending him strength and positivity. I'm hoping he's able to correct himself and free himself, but right now we can't hear each other.
No. Well, I'm telling you why he still love you.
And I love him dearly.
He told me he still love you.
I love him dearly, but I couldn't, you know, I couldn't keep going through what I was going through with him.
Man, yeah, to have a friend that's a roller coaster by himself.
Man,
that's how I
just come off the rails.
Yeah, he's still gonna go for the ride too.
Yeah.
But man, look, I'm glad you came through.
I appreciate
you blessed me, man.
Thank you.
Look, I'm glad you came through. I'm glad I got some of your time. What we got next, man? I'll be seeing you drop your music. What we got next?
Okay, so like musically, the more I try to get away from the music, the more it keep pulling me back, bro. I swear to God. So, you know, I'll say I'm cool, and then I'll have a year like I just had, where I just banger after banger after banger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I started the year with Peace. Peace is, you know, the dope freestyle, just the dope. I'm kicking the dough in with the bars. Then the Supervillain came about, you know, and that was me and my engineer, you know, just, you know, want to have a positive message, you know, and then I did the video, which is like the whole COINTELPRO thing with the video. I spent a guap on the video.
Good video.
But then the Hello Dante's joint comes about, you know what I'm saying? Where I'm from, and that was like super organic, just me and him, just our relationship. You know, we had been trying to come up with something, cook up something, and the first thing we cooked up just didn't quite hit right, and so I was like, let's do it again, let's do something else. He was like, look, I got you. You know what I'm saying? I got something for you. And then, boom, there it was. And so all I had to do was just, you know, clean up on the end. And then now, Mr. Jiggs done hit me up. Me and Mr. Jiggs finna drop something. I've been trying to lock in with my homie PM. Shout out my homie PM. He's shooting up the charts. He's so busy getting money everywhere. And singing about what love will So shout out to PM R&B. But we got something cooking. So
yeah, you make your R&B hit. Make your R&B hit. Yeah.
Man, you know, me and Mr. G's got the This Is One, and that's coming soon. That's coming soon. We already in the works of putting that out, and we're gonna shoot the video when it gets a little warmer, and probably about around the same time this is dropping. We'll be doing the video for that. So, but I just been focused on just putting out positive content. And I'm transitioning into, trying to polish that up a little bit more. So this right here was right on time. But yeah, man,
you still coaching?
Nah, really. This is a time of transition in my life for a lot of reasons, a lot of ways. I thank God my finances are, I'm super straight. So, I'm trying to make my money work. You know what I mean?
Let it work for you. Yeah.
And just really, I'm trying to do more content and, to get it that way. But the music is, it's in my bones. You know what I'm saying? So, I may touch the mic every now and then just to let people know I still got it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like a mixtape track or something. But, I've been trying to transition away, but opportunities keep coming and I'm taking them too. People want features and I'm doing them. So.
Hey, it only take one hit, man. It only takes one.
It just takes one. You're right.
Well, there it is. Big Six. I'm glad to have you, man.
I appreciate the invite, Tez. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.